All right. It's just about 9, so I figured we can go ahead and get started. I'm so excited. I love these calls. I've been missing my partner in crime doing these calls.
It's been like
How are you, Catherine?
I'm so good. Last week was just crazy because I'm sitting here, I keep trying to dial in, and I'm like, what is the problem? And then I look up in the corner of my phone, and it said no, I don't know what it says, no network or no, like, we had a storm, I guess, that was starting to come through, and, like, I had no phone service. I was like, this isn't good.
We made it work. It was perfect. But I'm glad that you're back with us this week. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to let you introduce yourself first. Just tell everyone a little bit about your story.
Perfect. Good morning, everybody. This is Catherine, and I live in Allegan, Michigan, which is a pretty small town, not too far from Lake Michigan, so we get to enjoy, like, every part of the world. We have beautiful beaches, but actually I live in a farming community, and I'm like 30 minutes from downtown city. So I just love that I come from someplace that's so versatile, which makes it really nice for building my business. I've been with It Works for this September is my 2-year anniversary, so almost 2 years. I can hardly believe it. And I joined It Works actually after watching a friend of mine build her business, and I watched her about 3 years over Facebook, not really knowing what I was watching. A lot of people think, oh my goodness, how did you watch that for 3 years? But to be honest, it didn't really catch my eye the whole 3 years. Like, I was watching her have fun and do some really cool things and do what she did, but it wasn't like I was drawn to it for some reason right away. But I was going through some health issues, and she was posting some product information, and the first thing that caught my eye was the greens. And because I was really struggling with energy and different things, I just really felt like that was something that could be helpful to me. And I actually was in another direct sales business at the time, and so I didn't really have any interest in doing this business, although I knew she was doing fairly well. The person I'm talking about is Caity Dempsey, our top money earner. So I knew she was doing fairly well, and when I messaged her about the greens, I said, and maybe when we sit down you could tell me a little bit more about the success you're having with your business, because I was thinking whatever she's doing, I could just integrate it into the direct sales company that I was with, not having any idea that direct sales and network marketing were completely different types of companies to work for. And, and basically we sat down together, and after her and Nathan told Joel and I about the greens and some of the other products, we just really knew that these were the products I needed. And actually Joel was the one who convinced me. He just kind of looked at me and said, people are going to want these products. You need to sell it. And so, you know what, the next day I quit working with my other direct sales company. I quit that day, along with a couple other part-time jobs that I had. I resigned from them and started my It Works business that next day after I talked to Kim. I had never tried the products yet, but just after doing the research and seeing what our products could do, I knew that they would be really, really beneficial for us and that for a lot of people. So that's kind of how we got started. Yeah, and, it's just been kind of like, oh, here we go type of situation, and we've just been going all in for the last 2 years.
That's crazy. And what does your life look like now? I guess I wanted to add that too. Like, what has changed since you started for you?
Well, probably the biggest thing that has changed for us, right now we're at the diamond level, which it is an average income of about $1,900 a month. We're actually a little bit below average just because summer's been slow for us, but that's that's the nature of the beast a little bit. But probably one of the biggest things is my husband's a full-time firefighter, and so we don't make a great income. I mean, he does okay. He does enough for what can support an average family. We are a family of 6. And we have very, very busy kids and, a busy lifestyle. And because of my health issues, we actually have a lot of medical debt. And what happens with medical debt, and a lot of people, if you don't have medical debt, I don't know if you can appreciate this, but what happens is you have to start dealing with that, and that just puts you in a position of where you can't pay other things, or you have so many things you're paying for. And that's really, it causes a snowball of other debts that you have just because of the burden of it. And since the time that we joined It Works, this is the first time that we're actually making payments on debt and not going further into debt every month. You know, we right now aren't increasing our lifestyle or doing anything like that. We are totally focused on just making those larger payments every single month so that we can, in the future, you know, hopefully in the nearer future than further out for the future, we're going to be able to be debt-free.
I love that. I love that. That's awesome. All right.
Well,
I guess
it just takes that. Yeah, right? You really, Caity. Yeah, you can't just come on this call and ask everybody else questions.
All right, everyone. Okay. Well, my name is Caity. I've been with It Works now and it will be 2.5 years this fall. I got started in May of 2012, and I was introduced to the wrap from. Actually, it was my mom. She called me up. I was, at the time, I was full-time school and full-time work. I was working retail, and I was the store manager of a clothing store and also going for my bachelor's in psychology. And I'll never forget it. She called me, and she told me, you know, at the time she was losing her job. She was with another direct sales company that was going under. So I've always been exposed to direct sales and the idea of a home-based business, but I never really thought it was for me. So she called me and she told me that she found this product and she was really excited. And, you know, I wasn't too sure of what I thought of it. I think for me at the time, again, I was just like Catherine. I had a lot of health issues, and the idea of the wrap kind of scared me. I'd never heard of anything like it. But I also trusted my mom, and I know my mom, and I know she wouldn't give me anything that would hurt me. I know she would have done the research to make sure the ingredients were okay for my condition at the time, and I was looking to lose some weight. My doctor had told me that if I had lost some weight that it would help some of the health issues I was having. So I went ahead and I tried a wrap. I went to her first party. She was just getting started in the business, and you know, I wasn't going to wrap that night. She only had enough wraps for the people that were there, and she actually had one extra. Someone couldn't wrap that night, or she couldn't make it. I don't remember. And I tried it, and, you know, I got okay results in 45 minutes, but the next morning, oh, my goodness, my stomach was completely flattened. I'll never forget, I was very, very swollen in my stomach, and it was completely flattened. I went down a pant size in just a couple of days because I was just so toxic. And the first detox I ever did to my body was just absolutely amazing. So, you know, I was really interested in the Sideline products. We have some great products for different things, and I knew that I wanted to try them on a more consistent basis, but I really didn't have the extra money. I was working full-time, and I was also in school again, and I was just paying my way through school, trying to pay off some bills, trying to also move out, and I knew that I needed a part-time job. You know, I was applying places, but because my schedule was awful, I really couldn't do anything part-time. So I got started in the business mostly just to get the free product. I had no intention of building a bigger business than that. I was okay with a few extra $100 a month. And quickly in the beginning, I saw that this was more. I went to an event, and my eyes completely were transformed in what this could be for me. So I went full force with it. I invited some of my friends and my family to get involved with me, and I ran. And now we're at the double diamond level, which is about $6,000 a month. I was able to leave my full-time job in my first month. I was wrapping people like crazy, and my wrap cash was actually more than I was making in a month at my full-time job.
That's awesome.
And and I just went crazy. It was awesome, and it wasn't like I was just making this crazy, amazing, you know, income that you see on the right side of our chart, but I just knew that I could get there. And so now we did move into that house. We did move out. I was able to finish school with a free schedule, and I've been putting my money towards paying off debt as well. So, it's definitely been a big, big difference for us. And, I'm excited because we have a guest on today as well that I haven't heard her story. So
I'm excited.
So go ahead.
This is what it's all about.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited because our guest today is Sabrina Dummett. And Sabrina and I are sidelines from one another. And Sabrina lives in Canada. And Sabrina, we actually officially met last fall in Seattle, didn't we?
That's right. That was the first time.
Yes, but you know what? From the second I met Sabrina, it honestly felt like we were supposed to be sisters. Not just business partners, not just friends. It has felt like Sabrina and I somehow were long lost sisters. And it just through, this is so silly to me, but just through some events in my family this past year, my whole life my family thought that my family's background was from England, but it's actually from Canada, and it's actually from the Toronto area. So here Sabrina and I really are supposed to be sisters. But Sabrina's a diamond with It Works, and Sabrina, just share your story, because when you came in, you just went full force, and I know that you've had some different things that have happened over the last year, and I really love to hear how you went in full force and you got where you needed to be, but then you readjusted your priorities. I'd like for you to share all of it, because I think it's important for people to know how we build this business and how it's different for everybody.
Sure. Hey, everybody. Good morning. My name is Sabrina Dummett, and I've been with It Works since end of March 2013, so just a year and 5 months about. And how I came to see It Works was, my first thing was my girlfriend called me up and said, "Oh, you have to come to this rap party." And I was like, "Oh, my God, we're going to sing?" And she said, "No." And then I said, "Oh, great, we're going to try raps. We're going to eat. I love it. I'm there." And she said, "No, it's like a rap for your body, and, you get to try it and blah, blah, blah." So I was like, no, that's a gimmick. And the reason I said that was because I'm a fitness instructor. And, of course, it goes against my religion of working out and healthy eating. So I was like, "Erica, this is like a gimmick." And she's like, "Well, you said you'll try anything once with me." So I said, "All right, fine." So we went and tried it. And she's like, "Now don't say and ask questions and all this stuff." And the person that presented to us was Caity Dempsey. And, of course, I didn't know who Caity Dempsey was. She was just this other lady sitting there presenting this, and I was, being skeptical through the whole entire thing. And once I tried it, there was only 3 of us, I think, at the rap party, including my girlfriend, but there was 5 or 6 of all these people in green that came to see Caity. And I thought, what is going on? They're all dressed the same with these T-shirts, and I thought, this is kind of funky. But and then afterwards, after I tried the rap and saw my results, I was like, okay, but my girlfriend had better results. And she was a little bit bigger than me, and so her results showed a lot more than mine did, but I have a lot of loose skin after losing 80 pounds after my babies. So I was like, okay, I need to see how this thing is going to work. And Cammie told me, "Sabrina, just wait till tomorrow, wait 24 hours, wait 48 hours, wait 72 hours. And so I did that. And the next morning I woke up, I went in the kitchen, I had my husband take my picture, and I was like, oh, my God. But before he even took the picture and I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, oh, my gosh, my skin started tightening. So I was freaking out, and then the following day it was even better. Before Cammie went back to Michigan, I called her up and I said, I need to sit down and meet with you. And, of course, being the skeptic that I am, I went home that night and I Googled the crap out of It Works, and I looked at everything about it. And before I became a mom and fitness instructor, I was in the full-time corporate world. I was a regional revenue director for Marriott Hotels. So I started crunching numbers, looking at the compensation plan, because I knew nothing about multi-level marketing or sales, direct sales or anything like that. I come from the corporate world, and that's all I knew. So I started crunching numbers, and I was like, wow, there's a huge potential with this. And then I presented it to my husband, and I said, Rich, take a look at this. And he was like, whoa, is this for real? And I'm like, well, it makes sense. Like, you can actually make more money than you spend doing it. And it's a great opportunity. And he said, well, it's up to you. And he always gives me the freedom of reign. So he said, it's up to you. If you think you can do it. He goes, as long as it doesn't affect our income, but in a positive way, then it's fine. He's all for that. Then he said, go for it, right? So I was like, okay. So I called Cammie up, and before she left, the day she was leaving, I said, I need to sit down and talk to you. So we sat down, and we talked about it, and boom, I signed on. And before this, I wasn't really keen on businesses like this because, one, I had the corporate thing drilled in my head, and two, my parents tried Amway when I was very young, and all I remember is a house full of Amway products, but they never got anywhere. But we had Amway stuff coming out of our yin-yang. So I was like, oh, God, this is like such a waste, of their time. So it kind of left a bad taste in my mouth from then. And then when I became a mom and I started going to these mommy groups, all these moms started asking me about Arbonne and Stella and Dot and Mary Kay and Avon and all these things. And I was like, no, I'm not into selling. I've never sold a thing in my life. I've never worked in retail in my life. I can't sell anything. I can't even knock on a door and sell a box of chocolates. So I said I can't do this kind of thing. But when Cammie presented this to me and when I saw what this product was, I realized, oh my gosh, there's so many people that need this. It doesn't matter what size you are. It doesn't matter what age you are. Everybody needs something that they have to offer in their products. So I was excited, and I joined on, and I committed myself in doing this. One was to prove it to my husband, and two, I committed myself because I saw the potential, and I said, I'm going to go hardcore with this. So I think I turned diamond in 5 months after starting the business, and they had extended the diamond bonus, so it was perfect timing for me. But in that 5 months, I barely saw my kids. I barely saw my husband. I was literally having 3 wrap parties a week. I teach 23 fitness classes a week, and in between juggling the kids from school and daycare and all the other stuff that you guys, all the moms do. But every night 2 nights a week I squeezed in a wrap party, and every weekend I had 1 wrap party minimum, sometimes 2, and I was always doing some event, either an outdoor event, an indoor event, whatever I could get my hands on, I basically did it. And my husband thought I was going insane. He barely saw me, but it was okay with him because when he saw how much money I was making each month, he was all on board, and he said, okay, keep going, but it's not a lot compared to the time you're investing. And he's very analytical like me as well. So I was like, I know, but the potential is far greater. So I continued to work my buns off right through the summer. So I never experienced a lull summer. And that might be also it's probably because of me. I know it's because of me. I went full force that whole summer. And then by the end of the summer, August, I turned diamond. After I turned diamond, I had a gal come on board that I was trying to get to come to a wrap party for 5 months I was in the business for 5 months. So I was trying for 5 months to get her to come. And she finally turned around and said, you know what, yeah, I'll come. So she came to my wrap party, and I had a few other ladies there, and all my wrap parties were mostly strangers. I only had 2 girlfriends, close girlfriends that joined the business with me. That was it, and I don't have a big family, so none of my family joined. And most of my people are strangers or acquaintances. And
that's why I want to. Yes, I definitely want to get to that, Sabrina, because you built yourself to diamond. Like,
I did.
Every single person who joined your team was because you recruited them, and you don't hear that very often.
No, and what that means
also,
for some of the newbies.
Blitzing. Yes.
Sorry, Catherine. I'll just explain that to some of the newbies because they won't understand that. But what that means is basically I signed up the majority, I'd say 95% of all my distributors, and I placed them under other people. So when you guys look at the Ruby chart and stuff like that, I've basically slotted in people in all those little spaces.
And so that shows how hard you were working. But then on top of that, it was all through like blitzing, which is another thing you are phenomenal at, and you have to share.
Okay. So my biggest, let's start with the downside. My biggest, I like to finish on the upside. So my biggest downfall is IT. I think I'm the most illiterate when it comes to IT and techie savvy stuff. Catherine, you are a little bit too, aren't you?
Yeah, I don't enjoy anything about it. I don't enjoy it. I don't want to learn it.
Me neither. Because when I was in the corporate world, I had an IT person designated to me. I had him all to myself. So as dumb as it may sound, if my computer died and something just went kaput, I'd call him. He'd walk over to my office, reboot everything, fix it up, and so I never had to really work at it that way, even though I worked on the computer. So when people started, the first thing I had to do was open a Facebook page. I didn't even start a Facebook page until my own personal Facebook until my second baby, and because I just didn't have time for Facebook. And then after I started the business and I started a business page too, I had to go to my girlfriend and ask her how to do that. So IT is definitely not my forte, but what worked for me was blitzing. It took me, though, if I tell you honestly, it took me 3 months to get over my fear of blitzing. And I still have fears that arise depending on where I am. But, like, in all honesty, really just to go up and point blank talk to strangers and give them a card, it took me 3 months to really get out of it. So, of course, I blitzed where I was most comfortable, and I was comfortable at the gym, so I'd blitz people at the gym. But I couldn't be all out there with that because I work for a corporate gym, so I'm not allowed. It's not like little studios that I go into and work out of. I work for one main corporation. I guess like you guys have Bally's, and not Bally's, but you guys have Gold's Gym and stuff like that down there, and Crunch Fitness and stuff like that. Here we have Good Life, and it's the biggest, largest corporation. So you're not allowed to freely, sell products or advertise other things other than your job. But I have a lot of members that come every day, and I started talking to them about it. I said, oh, my God, I tried this amazing product, and this is what it did for me. And I showed them my picture, and I said, it's incredible because, everybody has loose skin. Before I could have been finished, they were like, yeah, we want to try this. And these are ladies that work out 5 days a week, and they're trying everything to make themselves healthier after having children, but no matter what, we all know that loose skin you can't get rid of. And that was my biggest goal. So what I've seen it do overall with all the products, the greens and the Fat Fighters and the ProFit and, the ThermoFit and the New You. I'm huge with the New You. I love that stuff. So when I saw all of that, I was like, I can blitz to people without prejudging anyone. I can blitz anyone that I come in contact with, and there's something there for them. They might not have any interest in the wrap. That's fine, but they might. But it's up to them to be the judge. But I can show them what we have, and that we have a lot of things. And so that's the mentality I took on. And then finally, when I overcame my fears of blitzing, it just went on fire because I started blitzing everywhere else because I ran out of people at the gym because after seeing them for a month and talking about it to the members that I was close to, that's it. It was done. So I exhausted that menu. So I was like, okay, I need to get over this and start blitzing everywhere else. And that's when it really took off, and that's what really got me to Diamond, overcoming that fear of blitzing. And that's the only way that I built my business was blitzing, getting people to try it one-on-ones, wrap parties. I was doing wrap parties like crazy, 3 a week minimum, and it got me there. But it was a struggle because, as I said, I didn't see my children. Every weekend I was busy. It was an investment that I took into and I was committed to. After I went diamond, I told you I found my biggest runner, the gal that finally signed up after 5 months. She was the first person that I had ever experienced bring on people herself and start building herself. She built herself all the way to Emerald. Her and the people she brought on, they started building. So she experienced it faster than I did because the people that I brought on, almost nobody built their own legs.
So they didn't have to. You were doing it for them.
I was doing I was doing it for them. But, I was hoping I was doing it for them, not only to get myself to diamond, but also as a motivational tool because I thought, wow, if they see the difference in their paycheck that comes in, it's going to motivate them. And if they see that, oh, wow, she's just bringing all these people on by blitzing and putting herself out there, maybe that would motivate them to do it too.
Yeah.
And I had to be patient with them because I knew how hard it was to blitz. So that was one of the things. And then everything went really awesome last year before Christmas. It's so funny because people talked about summer being a lull, Christmas being a lull. So my summer wasn't a lull. I actually exceeded my expectations. And then Christmas did the same because this gal came on board. She was on fire. She brought on people. They brought on people. And they came out with the bonuses, the Christmas bonus and this bonus and that bonus. And my team, when Cammie was doing calls and saying, Christmas is tough, hang in there, my team actually excelled. And we made the most amount that we've ever made, and it was crazy. And I had maybe close to minimum 10 distributors that all got Christmas cash bonus, double fast start bonus, all kinds of bonuses. It was insane. So it was great. And then we went into our Freedom Conference in January, and I was excited because this was this big conference. I went to my first big conference. I think it was Green Carpet when I met you, right?
Yeah, in Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah, in Seattle. So that was my first one, and that was like a reward to myself for obtaining diamond status in August. So I said, I deserve this. I'm going to this convention, and I invested my money back into my business, and I went in September. And then January was the big one, and that was my first big one. And it was so exciting. It was so motivating. It was so inspiring. And everybody says, oh, my gosh, your business is going to quadruple and, double and triple. And I was like, woohoo, I was so excited. I went to that convention. I came away with all those feelings. And once I came back and I was trying to get my team pumped because I only had, I think, 2 other distributors, 2 or maybe 3, I can't remember, that came with me to conference, to the Freedom Conference. And then when we came back, we were all excited. We did a presentation. We did a training. We tried to bring the atmosphere back that we experienced. And it was excellent. I had so many distributors show up. But then as the winter progressed, last winter was such a long and harsh winter, it actually played against us a little bit, and we weren't out there doing wrap parties as much. I mean, the weather was so bad. We could barely get out sometimes. It was just insane, and it was just making people feel miserable, and it was tough. And we didn't see that doubling, tripling, quadrupling businesses happen for us. So it was a little challenging. But then soon as the turnover came from the weather and things started getting a little bit better, our business started booming automatically again. So everybody was on board. So I started experiencing these lulls and ups and downs with people. So that was really interesting. And I found I had to work harder as a leader in those times. And then I went to Green Carpet in April, came back. That was my first green carpet, and I was really excited. And all of a sudden I come back and, we're excited, and the distributors that went with me were excited. And then when we came back, we found people on my team slowly start dropping off. And they said, you know, spring's here, we're going on March break, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I was like, oh, my gosh, what's happening? And then summer hit, and I think up until July, my paycheck kept increasing and increasing, and I was well over our average for Diamond. But then July hit, and this summer lull that everyone was talking about last year, I experienced. And it got so bad that people actually turned around and said, Sabrina, I don't have time to do this. I want to, you know, spend more time with my family, and it's taking up too much of my time, and I just want to take a step back from this business, and I'm stopping my auto ship. And I had one after the other contact me, and one of my biggest runners that built herself after I turned Diamond and she came on board, that person had struggles in their own life with their job and everything. And I connected with her so much because we're there for our team, and I was there for her on a personal level. You know, she'd call me in tears about her job and stuff like that. And when she turned around and told me, I just cannot handle this and the job, I need a break, I really felt it. And I said, what can I say to her? I mean, she is working, you know, over 16 hours a day, and she's just falling apart. And yet she had like an emerald, enough people for her to get to emerald. And I had to give her space, and I had to let her go, but be there for her as a friend, as hard as it was. And after that, her whole team started collapsing, and everybody started dropping off. And then myself, my whole business started dropping because all the people that I had placed, they started dropping because the people they're under are not working with them. So I'm now having to work with over 24 plus distributors plus the gal that came on board that was doing really well. So I was going for double Diamond, and it flipped the total opposite way. And so that was really hard for me. It actually it just discouraged me a lot. I was really sad and heartbroken over it, and I was just thinking to myself, oh, my gosh, I've worked so hard. I've worked with so many people. You know, I've given my time, my heart, everything, blood, sweat, and tears, actually, for it, and yet everything's falling apart. So it discouraged me so much that I said, you know what, I'm not doing what I did last summer, and I'm going to spend time with my family this summer. I'm going to spend time with my kids this summer. And I did that, and I don't regret it. I needed it. I needed to do that. And now, you know, Cammie turned around and asked me, so what are you going to do? Are you going to quit? And I said, no way, because that's not me. Am I being pulled both ways? Yes. But will I quit? Never. So I said, I'm going to build right back up. I'm not going to do it maybe the way that I tried before and I achieved, but I'm going to do what I need to do in a better way and in a smart way and do it the best I can. But I'm going to also try and balance my life a little bit better because I found that I lost the fun. And that's when it's not fun anymore, of course. So I needed to regain back that fun in what I was doing and loving what I was doing.
I think like what's really pertinent about what Sabrina has shared through her story is that first of all, this business is about fun, and so it's not supposed to be stressed. It's not supposed to be overwhelming. Are there times when we work harder than other times? Yes, absolutely, because it is a business. This is not a hobby. It's a business, and so we have those moments. But one of the things I love about It Works is we really focus on friendship. And this is not a business meant to be done alone. And that's in a lot of aspects what was happening with Sabrina and why she was struggling so much is it's about team. This is about finding people who want to work with you, not people who want to just be there, I guess. I don't know a better way to put that. Maybe, Caity, you can sum up a little bit of what I'm trying to say.
No, I think it's true. I think that it's hard, especially with the nature of this business. I think one of the things that sometimes people do is they, I guess, I don't want to say look for the handout, but that's almost kind of like, they look for something else to build it. And it's definitely something that you have to go out there and decide, every day. Like, Sabrina, I love that you had a really busy schedule, and yet you didn't make any excuses. Like, you were just like, all right, well, I have an hour, I can do a party. It's not like you had to be out every single day doing these parties and give up your full-time job. And I think that, it takes a very specific kind of person, but it really just starts with one. And I mean, I think your story is the perfect example of you hired one person who just took off on their own, and you really just have to go out there and find that one. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. And that's Caity, that's a great point, because that is, my conversation with Cammie. I said that is what I'm praying for. This is my new focus. When I talk to people now and bring them on board for the business, I'm going to really take the time to ask them, what do they want? I know what I want in this business, but what do they want? Do they just want to do this part-time? Do they just want to, make $500 extra a month? That's okay. I think I was wanting more for them than they wanted for a lot of people on my team. I think I was wanting more because I knew the potential. I saw it, and I wanted more for them. But I can't want it for them if they don't want it for themselves. So I think I'm going to ask them right off the bat. And you know what? It might change. It definitely changed for me. All I wanted to do was help people health-wise, health and wellness-wise. That's all I wanted from joining It Works. And, of course, maybe $500 extra a month wouldn't hurt. But really that was my main focus, was I need to get this product out to people to help them, because that's what I do for a living. But once I saw the money coming in and the potential, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go full force, give it my all, and see where it gets me. And it definitely got me far. So I think, and that can change. So I think moving forward now, I'm really going to focus on people that I'm bringing into my business that wants to work with me. I'm going to ask them, what do you want? What is it that you see? We always asked why they wanted to do it, but we never asked them what they wanted out of it, or I didn't at least. So I think that's going to be a huge focus for me now, and that way I'll get to see who is going to be a business partner of mine in the longer term to get where we want to get. If there's people that just want to do this part-time and just for a little bit of extra income, that's totally awesome, and I will help them. But if I want to go further in this business, and if other people want to go further in this business, I need to really focus on putting myself out there for those people and find those people.
Yeah. I think it's just so good to hear, like, the real-life stories that this business works. It absolutely works. It's amazing. The potential of it, like Sabrina, you've said so many times, is over the top. And you know that because you've seen what the corporate world looks like, and you've seen what this world looks like, and you know this works. But it is, there are ups and downs. It's not a perfect world. And so I love that we can sit and share that somebody who got to Diamond so quickly, and Sabrina, you're such a good, strong leader, and you have such a heart to help people, and that's what's really keeping you going, and as you know that you can help people in their health, in their finances, so many different areas of their life. But, sorry, I have a call coming through. That's so weird. But Sabrina, you keep going because you believe in it, and I think that this needs to be an encouragement to other distributors out there who are going through a lull right now. It's normal. It's okay, and you just keep blitzing people. You're gonna find that one.
Yeah, Catherine, what I started realizing is it's like I've never owned my own business before. I've always worked for someone else, so they've experienced the lulls. I just went in 9 to 5 and did my job and did it the best I could.
Good point.
But owning your own business, you feel the lulls. And what I like to compare it to, I think the majority of people, marriage is tough. There's marriage, but you always work at it. And you have lulls in your marriage. It's not hunky-dory every single day. It's not like La La Land, And every time something's thrown into the mix, there's different obstacles that come in there. Once you have children, once they, start to grow, once they get more activities, there's always different things that are ever so changing your marriage. And marriage, you're still fighting for it. You're still working hard. You still have your lull. You'll have your days of tears. You'll have your days of anger. You're working with other people in your marriage. But at the end of the day, you see what you want out of this marriage, and you see what you want, the bigger picture at the end, the light at the end of the tunnel, and you want to grow old together, and, you want to see your kids grow older, get married, all those things. It's just so similar to our business, because our business isn't always hunky-dory. It's not always great. There's so many lulls. There's so many challenges. There's different factors, different type of people that come in and out of our business. There's different seasons that hit our business where there are dips in it. So there's so many different things that take into play, the weather, whatever it is. But you can see the light at the end of the tunnel. You see the greater picture. You want that. You want that for your team. We had to put on our The Good Life, what it means to us. And I said it's, of course, financial freedom for my family and to retire my husband, but it's also financial freedom for my team. And that's huge. And it's just like a marriage. You want the best for your children. You want a great future for them. And so you're working towards that.
I think I'm going to add one more thing. One of the things that I realized, too, and this is just something that came to me, actually, while I'm listening, too, is, a lot of us that are here looking to build a bigger business are looking at the longer term. We're looking at maybe the bigger picture of where this is going to take us. And part of that bigger picture is having a really, really rock-solid foundation. So I find that sometimes in these seasons of our business, I know, number one, that the owner of the company prays over our company each and every day. His wife prays that the right people come and that the wrong people will leave. And I think a part of that is that, we're creating an environment that we're going to work in for our entire lives. I know the owners of the company have their children working for the company. So their plans are for the longer term, the longer scheme of things and what that's going to do for everyone else. And I think that, one of the things, especially I'm speaking to people that might be in the business and might be having a tough time, look at your environment that you're living in, and do you really want to not have fun and be away from your family and do all these things? Absolutely not. So I think that sometimes God allows these seasons of our business so that we have a healthy environment. My team, we call it pruning. And when you prune a bush and you see this big bush and you're pruning back all the weeds and you're getting it ready to grow again, it looks like, oh my gosh, did I just cut off all of the branches? It looks like it's going to die. What's going to happen? And then it grows into this beautiful thing. So I know that, at first that pruning does look a little bit scary, but just remember, if you hand a blitz card to somebody or somebody joins your team and you thought they were going to be your lifer and you thought they were going to be here, I'm speaking to that person right now, it might just be that they just weren't the right person and you just got to go find them. So I love, Sabrina, you have that hope and you have that vision and you know that you're here and you know why you're here. And I think that's so inspiring for somebody who might have been like, well, she's a diamond and her life is perfect. I love that it's not. I love that you're real and it's a real story. And I know that pruning does look scary and you're like, oh my goodness, I have to get that. Yeah. But it starts with one. And it's just like that bush, it looks really, really bad and you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And some people would be like, I don't know. They might not look at it like it's going to grow back into that tree, but you see the tree, and you see that big bush of beautiful flowers and everything growing on it. And I think that that's really important. So I
Well,
absolutely love your story because it's real and it's relatable, and I thank you for being honest.
Oh, you're so welcome. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, of course. Now, Catherine, you want to just go ahead real quickly? We have some amazing bonuses on the table, but they're gone tomorrow, literally
oh my
gone
goodness.
tomorrow. So do you want to talk about them?
Yes, first of all, our corporate office has continued to extend our $10,000 good bonus for any new incoming distributors, which means that if you join before August is over, so before the end of Sunday night, you have 3 full calendar months. You will have till November 30th to work to that diamond level and to earn a $10,000 bonus. And that is our good bonus. It's our get out of debt bonus. We are a debt-free company, and so our company is very passionate about that. And our second bonus, and you have 48 hours almost to accomplish this, if you join our business and you find one person who would like to just be a customer and try the products and one person who would like to take a shot at this business, and you sign both of them up before the end of this month, your name will go in a drawing. 20 names will be drawn for a $20,000 bonus specifically for paying off debt. It Works is actually going to write a check to your credit card company or whatever your debt is. They're gonna write that for you up to $20,000, and they're gonna choose 20 people. Who doesn't want their name in that hat?
I want it. And it's so simple, and I know all 3 of us on this call are good bonus recipients, so that $10,000 bonus is achievable, and it's not meant to go out and buy fancy things, although you certainly can. It's meant to pay off debt. And I think that's one of my favorite parts about this company is, again, they look at that long term. They look at that, they don't want us to win a car or trip or, get something that we're going to have to end up paying on. They want us to pay off our debt, and knowing full well that, if this is something that we went to move on from or whatever, that they're not keeping us in with having a car or something like that. And I think that so speaks to the integrity of the company and their heart to really serve us. I know that we were featured in Inc. 500 again, over 1,000% growth this past year, which is absolutely amazing. And, the time is now, guys. Every single day, this business is going to be shown to more and more people, and more people are going to hear about it. And we have such a unique product that nobody else can get, that's consumable, that everybody wants. It's affordable. It's fun. And I don't think you're on this call by accident. And every single day, more and more people are going to know about it. So don't wait till tomorrow. Get started, and start with one person.
Yes.
I know everybody on this call, all 3 of us, have had one person, and that one person has changed everything in our business, every single thing. So, I encourage you to get back to the person who invited you to this call. I encourage you to get back in this, get your fire back if maybe you are in that lull. And I know that this is it for me. I'm in.
Yeah.
And this is the thing for us. And I encourage you to go back to the person who invited you and get started. So, Catherine, Sabrina, do you guys have any last words to leave the people with today?
I just like to say, don't give up. Keep at it, and you will see your business build. Just as Caity said, just focus on starting with one. Once you got that one, go to your second one, and do whatever you need to do in the time that you have, but focus on what you're doing when you're doing it. Whenever that time is that you're working on your business, put your 100% or more into it, and you will see your business build. And when you get into those low periods, just keep your head up and don't give up, because it will turn over again.
Yes,
I love
absolutely. Yes. I look at the lulls in our business being similar to what was I just thinking? Like right before a mom has a baby and she feels like she needs to sleep all the time and she's not getting anything done. Because something's coming and you're not gonna get that sleep. Take advantage of it. Pull, get ready because a boom is happening.
Yay!
I love it, guys. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I know we spoke a little longer than we normally do, but I think a call like this needed to happen. So I thank you both for your time. I hope you have a fantastic last weekend of summer. Really bummed that it's over, but I'm excited for what's to come. And I can't wait to see where this takes us, guys. Let's finish the year strong.
It's going to be a great fall.
All right, guys. All right, everyone. Have a fabulous weekend. We are going to be back here next week, same time, same number. So thank you both. Thank you, Sabrina, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye,
Thank
Caity.
you.
Bye,
Everybody.
Sabrina.
Bye.